Hello there, guys. I'm here today to talk a little bit about this tree you got here in Brazil, which is called Candeia, the Candeia tree. I don't really know how it is called out there, but this is how we call it down here. Now, what makes the Candeia tree a very interesting and very desirable tree in my country, it's because of the oil that people get from it. Actually, a kilo of Candeia produces the amount of oil that costs us 85, I'm sorry, that costs us about $60 in the international market. And if you refine that oil, you can get a component liquid or a component resin, let's put it this way, which is called alpha bisabolol or alpha bisabolol, whatever. Now, this alpha bisabolol component is used, in several types of other products that we make. People actually make makeup, toothpaste, and all kinds of things. Even medicine, is actually made using this component, alpha bisabolol. So that's a very important tree for us down here. And as for the bushcraft aspect of this tree, it makes very good tinder for fire. Now, when you burn this tree, it produces a very bright flame, which is actually great to light up a camp. However, it will not, make coals. It will burn down to the ashes very, very quick, very soon, and you cannot really roast a lot of, just taking the tree as your main source of wood. What we do regarding bushcraft is basically just using our machetes or knives to scrape off some material which is impregnated with the resin, with the oil. And then you can spark the fire using that material, just using your ferro rod. Now, as for the physical aspects of this tree, you can see the trunk of the tree, what it looks like. It's very much like firewood. It has these deep veins of wood, which definitely make it very easy, a very nice feature for you to identify this tree. There are other trees here in the Cerrado area, in the Mata Atlântica area, which have the same kind of veins, but they are different. If you actually pay attention to the sort of shape of these veins here, you will see that they resemble muscles. Actually, the muscle fibers. And this is a very important feature for you to identify this tree. Now, as for the last aspect, which will definitely, determine whether it is a Candeia tree or not, is if you chop off a piece of the bark of the tree, or you remove an inner part of the tree, it has a very strong smell. You can smell it at a distance. It has a very peculiar smell. And that's actually all the proof you need to determine whether it is Candeia tree or not. However, this time here we had something different. I was just telling my buddies here how to identify this tree, and when I went for the second aspect, which is recognizing the smell, it didn't smell like Candeia. I gotta admit, I was quite surprised, and I didn't quite know what to say and what to do, because those are the basic two features that I have looked for all my life, and there's no mistake. I was pretty much able to determine whether it was Candeia or not when I got to the second point. And this time, nothing. And I was like, man, look at this thing. It looks just like Candeia, but it doesn't have the smell. And then I thought, dang, I gotta make sure whether it is Candeia or not. There was a dry branch up there. I went up, broke a little piece of the limb, chopped off some scrapes, and there it was. There was the smell I was looking for. However, much less strong than it usually is with the other trees. And then I was surprised because I had never seen this thing before in my life until today. So I'm here trying to actually point out the features of this tree. And there are, for the first time I come across a tree which doesn't actually present all them features so well defined. If you are in Brazil and you need actually to collect Candeia to help with your fire, this is a resource you can definitely use, but look for these features. The muscle fiber-like type of bark, very hardcore the inner trunk of this tree is very hard, and it has a very a very hard smell, which is a very peculiar smell of Candeia tree itself. If you find those three features, you most definitely got Candeia there, even though the smell is not as strong as it usually is. I don't know if it is a different species from the other ones which we got here, and if the smell might vary. But like I said before, this is the very first time I ever came across with this kind of tree which doesn't have, that feature, that smell, which pretty much defines Candeia for me. So this was a little tip from the boonies down here in Brazil. This was Giuliano Toniolo, and I'll see you in the boonies.